Level 1. The civilian. You see a number go up. That's it. That's the whole reason. A friend mentions a stock at dinner, says he made $800 in a week, and something shifts in your chest. You go home and open a brokerage account at 11 p.m. You don't fully understand what you're doing, but the form is simple enough. Name, address, social security number. You deposit $500. It feels enormous and embarrassing at the same time. You buy the stock your friend mentioned. Then you wait. You check it 6 times the next morning before 9 a.m. It goes up $14. You feel like you've unlocked something. You tell no one, but you're already doing the math. If it goes up $14 every day, in a year you'll have... You stop yourself, but you don't really stop. The stock drops $31 the following Tuesday. A company you've never heard of reported earnings. Something about guidance. You don't know what guidance means in this context, but the number is red and your $500 is now $463. You feel it physically, a tightness, a low-grade embarrassment, as if someone is watching. No one is watching. That's the first thing you don't understand about this world. You hold, not because of strategy, because selling would make the loss real. Level 2, the learner. You've lost $200 and made $340 and lost $180, and you're roughly flat, which somehow feels like failure. So you start studying. YouTube at first, then Reddit, then Discord servers with names that imply exclusivity. You learn words, support, resistance, moving averages, RSI, MACD. You write them in a notebook. They feel like a new language, and you feel, for the first time, like you are becoming someone who understands something others don't. You start paper trading. It goes brilliantly. You make 40% in a simulated month, and screenshot it and almost post it somewhere, but don't. You tell yourself you're being humble. You're not being humble. You're waiting until it's real. You put in $3,000. Real money this time. Money you saved over 4 months. You have a system now. Rules, entry points, stop losses. You write them down. You break every single one of them within the first 3 weeks. Not dramatically, quietly. You move your stop loss down because the stock is about to bounce. You hold a position overnight because you're in profit and it's going higher. You add to a losing position because your analysis hasn't changed. These are the rationalizations of a person who has learned the vocabulary of discipline without any of the substance. You end the month down $600. You stare at the number. The learner's tragedy is this: you know enough to feel smart. You don't know enough to be safe. Level 3, the convert. Something happens around month 6 or month 8. You stop thinking about trading as something you do. You start thinking of it as something you are. You restructure your mornings around the pre-market. You eat differently. You sleep with your phone face up. You start to feel genuine contempt for people who don't understand markets. Colleagues who keep their savings in a checking account. Relatives who think index funds are safe. You know better, or you believe you do. You've made real money now. One trade returned $2,100 in 4 days. You can still feel the specific texture of that afternoon. The green number, the confirmation email, the moment you showed your partner and watched their expression change. That moment is now load-bearing. It holds up the entire structure of your belief. You've also lost real money. A biotech position erased $1,800 overnight when the FDA rejected their drug. You learned about binary events the hard way. You told yourself it was a lesson. It was, but not the lesson you think. The lesson is that the market doesn't know you exist. Your account is up 11% on the year. The S&P is up 18%. You don't talk about this part. You talk about the $2,100 trade. You talk about your system. You talk about what you're watching. People at work start asking for tips, and you feel the specific warmth of being considered knowledgeable. And that warmth is dangerous because it has nothing to do with your actual performance. You are not a trader yet, but you can no longer imagine not being one. Level 4, the grinder. You open your first margin account on a Tuesday. This is either the beginning of something or the beginning of the end, and you won't know which for another 18 months. Your account is $22,000. With margin, it becomes $44,000. You feel the leverage like a change in atmospheric pressure. Everything is more vivid. Gains arrive faster. So do losses. You start taking larger positions. You start watching charts for 4 to 6 hours a day. You cancel plans. Not all of them. Just the ones that conflict with earnings reports or Fed announcements. You start to understand that the market has layers. Price action is only the surface. Beneath it is options flow, institutional positioning, macro calendar events, sector rotation. Each layer you discover reveals another layer underneath, and you start to feel the vertigo of a game that has no bottom. You lose $4,000 in a single week when a position gaps down against you. You do not sleep well for several nights. You replay the trade compulsively, constructing alternate histories where you sized smaller, where you checked the earnings date, where you weren't so certain. Certainty is the most expensive thing you own right now, but you keep going. Because you're also up $9,000 since the margin account opened. Because you found patterns that seem to work. Because quitting now, after everything you've learned, after everything it has cost you, feels like the one outcome you cannot accept. The grinder's world is one of streaks. Hot streaks feel like confirmation. Cold streaks feel like punishment. In reality, they are neither. But at this level, you haven't separated your identity from your P&L yet, and so every loss is a verdict. Level 5, the reckoning. There is a moment, specific, datable, when you realize you have been trading for 2 years and you are down net, accounting for time, for opportunity cost, for the $47,000 you've put in and the $39,000 that remains. You sit with this number. You don't show anyone. You've spent approximately 2,800 hours studying, analyzing, executing. You've read 7 books. You've paid for 2 courses. You've had 212 winning trades and 188 losing trades. Your win rate sounds almost respectable until you calculate the average size of each category and understand that you let losers run and cut winners early, which is the precise opposite of what you said you would do. This is the reckoning, not a dramatic blow-up, just arithmetic. Here is where the path splits. Most people, the vast majority, step back. They move their remaining capital into index funds. They tell the story occasionally at dinner with a knowing laugh. The expensive education, the phase they went through. They are not failures. They have simply run the experiment and read the results correctly. A smaller group does something different. They get quiet. They stop talking about trading. They stop posting in Discord. They go back to the data and they start asking a different question. Not, how do I win more trades, but why does this actually work when it works? And what does that imply about when it doesn't? They start building an edge, not a system. An edge. The difference is significant. You are in this second group. You don't know yet if that's fortunate. Level 6, the professional. Your account is $180,000. You manage it like a business because it is a business. You wake at 5:45. You read macro reports before the market opens. Not because you're anxious, but because you've built a pre-market routine that takes exactly 40 minutes and you don't deviate from it. You have a trading journal. You review it every Sunday. Not to feel good or bad about the week, to find behavioral patterns, to catch the specific conditions under which you make mistakes. You've discovered that you trade poorly in the first 30 minutes of the session. You've discovered that you overtrade on days following big wins. You've discovered a specific type of setup, a range compression followed by a volume surge that has a documented edge in your own data across 340 occurrences. You don't know exactly why it works. You know that it does. Your relationships have changed, not broken, changed. The people who love you have learned not to ask about specific trades. They've learned that your mood is not correlated to any single outcome. This took time and cost something you don't have language for yet. You are not rich. You are not famous. You are a professional, operating at a level that 95% of retail traders never reach and that the financial media never depicts because it is unglamorous and precise and quiet. You make between $80,000 and $220,000 most years, some years less. One year, a catastrophic macro event cut your account by 30%, and you spent 6 months recalibrating. You think about investing differently now. You have a separate, untouched long-term account, $240,000 in index funds that you do not look at more than once per quarter. This account has outperformed your trading account in 3 of the last 5 years. You know this. You record it. You have made peace with the paradox, mostly. The professional's world is not exciting. It is disciplined and lonely and remunerative, and you wouldn't trade it for anything. That is not a joke. Level 7. The operator. You manage other people's money now. This changes everything in ways you didn't fully anticipate. The capital is larger, $4.2 million across a small fund you operate with 2 partners. The strategies are the same. The psychology is not. When it was your own money, a 6% drawdown was uncomfortable. When it is someone else's money, a 6% drawdown is a phone call. The phone call is worse than the loss. Your investors are not hostile. They are afraid, which is harder to manage than hostility because fear doesn't respond to data. You learn a new skill at this level: communication. Not charm, not sales. The specific craft of explaining risk in language that doesn't cause panic. You become fluent in reassurance that is also honest, which is an extraordinarily narrow channel to navigate. Your investing positions have grown too. $800,000 in long-term equity positions, largely ignored, largely appreciating. This money requires almost none of your attention. It grows in the background like a quiet fact. You find this mildly ironic and more than mildly instructive. The trading operation, which consumes 70% of your waking hours, has returned 14.3% annualized over 4 years. The investing portfolio, which you constructed in one afternoon and review seasonally, has returned 11.8% annualized over the same period. The gap is smaller than you would have predicted when you started. The inputs are not comparable. You don't share this calculation publicly. Your investors are paying for the 14.3%, for the active management, for the expertise. They are paying for the story of a professional in command. You provide that story, and the returns justify it. But late at night, in the specific silence of a mind that won't stop processing, you run the numbers again. The numbers don't change. Level 8. The architect. You are no longer in the market. You are part of its structure. Your fund manages $180 million. You have 11 employees. 2 are execution traders. 2 are quants. 3 are analysts. 2 are operations. 1 is compliance. 1 is investor relations. You have not personally executed a trade in 8 months. Your role is now capital allocation, risk oversight, strategy development, and the ongoing performance of confidence for your LP base. You think in portfolios, not positions. You think in correlations, not charts. You think in regimes, the macro environments in which your strategies thrive and the ones in which they erode. You have risk parameters you have not violated in 3 years because you built systems to enforce them before you could become the kind of person who violates them. Your investing portfolio is $6 million, managed by someone else, in a blind trust structure to avoid conflicts. You don't know the specific positions. You know the allocation targets. It grows. You don't feel it grow. That is a strange sentence to have become true about your life. The question you get asked at conferences, "How did you build this? What is the secret?" has an answer that no one receives well. The secret is that there is no secret, only the compounding cost of consistency, the grinding accumulation of marginal edges, the willingness to be wrong quickly and right slowly. People nod. They are waiting for the other answer. You have stopped waiting for them to stop waiting. The people at this level know each other, not warmly, not always, but they know. There is a fluency you share with a small group, a shared understanding of what the market actually is, how it actually functions, who is actually on the other side of every trade. This knowledge is not power, exactly. It is more like sobriety. It is the inability to be surprised by certain things. You occasionally encounter a version of yourself from level 1, enthusiastic, certain, armed with a screenshot. You remember the feeling precisely. You say something encouraging and technically accurate. You move on. There is nothing else to offer. Level 9, the wait. There is a particular Sunday afternoon in your 53rd year when you sit on a balcony and realize the market has been open for 11,000 of your days. You've been in it longer than you've been a parent, longer, nearly, than you've been with your partner. You have missed things, specific, irretrievable things, a recital, a trip, a version of yourself that might have existed if you had done something else with 11,000 days. You do not regret this. Regret requires the belief that a different choice was possible, And at this level, you have seen enough decision paths, enough counterfactuals, to know that the self is not freely constructed. You became this. It is done. Your fund returns are among the top 12% in your strategy category over a decade. This is a real achievement. It will be in a paragraph in a publication once, and then it will be in a footnote, and then it will be in no publication at all. Markets generate new records constantly. Your record becomes historical, which is another word for irrelevant. The investing portfolio, the one you barely manage, the one built on boring allocations and patient time, is worth $31 million. Your trading operation, with all its infrastructure, all its people, all its years, has generated $22 million in personal earnings, net of expenses and taxes. You don't draw a direct comparison anymore. What you understand now, at the level almost no one reaches and fewer admit, the edge was real, the discipline was real, the returns were real. And also, the market didn't care about any of it. You performed well within a system that would have continued without you. The system continues regardless of who performs well within it. You are not bitter. Bitterness is for people who expected the system to notice them. You sit on the balcony. The market opens in 14 hours. You'll be ready. Not because it excites you anymore, because being ready is what you are. Level 10, the still point. The office is quiet at 6 a.m. You come in early now, not for urgency, but because this is the only hour when the building belongs only to you. You walk through it slowly. Screens showing pre-market data in cool blue light, the hum of servers, the coffee machine that someone on your team programmed to run automatically at 5:50. You built this, all of it, and standing inside it, you feel something that takes you a moment to identify, because you haven't felt it in so long. Nothing. Not peace exactly, not satisfaction. Absence. The absence of wanting to be somewhere further along than you are. You have reached the place you were trying to reach for 30 years, and it feels, primarily, like stillness. The market will open. You will oversee. Decisions will be made with your approval, inside frameworks you designed, by people you trained. The returns will be what they will be. You stop needing them to be a reflection of your worth somewhere around year 18. You stopped being able to remember stopping. The investors don't fully know what they've hired. They think they've hired performance. They've hired a system. The system performs. You are the system now. You are not entirely sure where the boundary is between you and the thing you built, and you've decided it doesn't matter. You think about the investors sometimes, the ones who put money in passively, consistently, who never learned a single technical pattern, who rebalanced once a year and went to their children's recitals. You think about their accounts. You don't say this out loud. There is someone right now opening a brokerage account. Somewhere, it is 11 p.m. and a form is asking for a name, an address, a social security number. There is money being deposited, $500 maybe $1,000. There is a stock tip from a friend. There is a number going up and a chest tightening with something that feels exactly like possibility. They think it's simple. They are not wrong about what it can become. They are wrong about what it costs. But they'll learn. The market is patient. It has time. It always has more time than the person sitting down to play it for the first time at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, watching a number climb, already doing the math. You were that person once. You remember the feeling. You lock the office behind you and walk to your desk, and the screens come alive, and it begins again. It always begins again.